Mom's remote control. I mean, I've seen her press this in her utmost strength. Hear it like squeak when she would press, and I was like, Mommy, you could just like press the button. No, can't. Just can't do it. Pretty severe problem in that the power button doesn't work at all. So now the button's completely dead. And I know you can, and I have done this in the past, clean up the carbon puck and also clean the carbon traces, but that is only a stopgap measure because she will keep pressing with like 20 kilos of force on the button. So yeah, I thought we would go, depending on how long we need it to be. The longer is better, but I don't want this coming out too much. Go one of these encoders. They're not encoders, these are encoders. These click switches. Well, we could go with like something super thermonuclear, but yeah, no. Anyway, so let's get to opening this up, drilling a hole, and then seeing where we actually will place it. I am actually thinking of placing it here because it's a very comfortable spot for the button. And so anyway, let's see how we move on. Alright, so it does seem like we've broken some clips off, but again, this having the age it has, we're not all that bothered. So this even has some like oily residue on it. I don't know why, maybe they're leaking this from the plastic, who knows? No idea what this means. But yeah, this has seen like 99% of its use on the power button. And the problem we're having is you can't really solder to these graphite deposits. But I think I'll just identify the traces, just scrape them off a tiny bit, and go from there. And yeah, as I said, right, I could actually have a switch on the top, right, kind of here, but I don't know, that kind of would ruin the aesthetics, so I think we could just as well go with the bottom, actually, huh? See how we're looking at on this side, but there should be a lot of free space here. Yeah, so just the LED and a lot of free space, yeah. So yeah, no, I think I'll chop this off and then get some space and get it going over here. All right. Okay, so that broke very cleanly. And now we can get to drilling a hole and getting that going. Yeah, kinda. Yeah, and plus the drill is a bit tapered, so yeah. So 2mm holes, and now let's see how the hell will we center this. So eyeball it, or do we actually do it properly? I think we can eyeball it. Yeah, fuck it, we'll just eyeball it. Okay. Alright, and now let's see what type of switches do we need. So these are super tiny remote car remote ones. And these are already kind of long. Do I have more sizes here or not? I mean, I could always cut one of these, but that would be quite the hassle. And a bit annoying, to be honest. Now, so this is protruding quite a bit, right? So this is sticking out. Yeah. So I'll have to somehow cut one of these. Damn it. Yeah, I'm not too happy about this. Like, how am I gonna do this? How am I gonna do this? Because the moment I hit this with a Dremel, right, this will heat the back plate, which is plastic, so. And I'm not sure I can cut it. Like, I would want to just cut it with the snips, but I think it's a bit of gray. Let's try that. I'll just go with the inside, and in that case, we'll just making a small dent in it. So it shouldn't be too bad, so yeah. So I want about 1.5 millimeters gone, so let's see if we can center this tiny bit. This might actually be some copper alloy, so in which case it should be soft, but still. Oh yeah, it is soft. Boom. Now it is sharp as fuck though, so have to get that sorted, but yeah, that I would use the Dremel on. When it's already too hot to hold, so. Here we have done something. Ow, fuck! Ow. Oh well. Alright, that's enough. Yep. So I'm happy with this. We'll have to solder some wires onto that. But before that, we kind of have to find a way. And so this sits like this. So we gotta find a way. Is this single-sided? I think it is. Yeah, it is. So I think we could just drill some holes and just take some wires on the other side. All right, so we'll just scrape off a bit of this and take it down to onto the button. Right over here. Okay, so this is right where a pillar is located, so I'll just snip this off. Again, right, don't overdo this, but yeah, structurally it should still be fine. Okay, so these are bridged, and this is what makes the contact. Alright, I'll try and remember that. And yeah, this is actually pretty good because it does melt at about 250, 300 degrees, so it's well within the soldering range. And so I have been using it very successfully. And just as mod wire, I do need to actually buy some mod wire, but somehow never got around to it. So let's see. And again, what you'll also want to do is not overheat the click switches, because not overheat them, because this plastic will malform and then they won't be clicky anymore. So that will ruin your day. And I have actually done this, and they were glued in place. Had to remove them. It was very bad. Very bad indeed. Okay, so I have to get from here to maybe I'll have to cross some stuff. Yeah, this should be enough. And we need 2 of them. Okay, and now let's tend the mod wire. And so I'm running this custom firmware on the TS80, and this not only provides 30 watts of power, so it boosts it up to 12 volts instead of the 9 it goes up to. And a good feature that this has over the stock firmware is a boost mode, and that I have set to like 380, I think. So you just long press a button when you have to do an important joint, more massive joint, and yeah, it works wonders. Right? So I know some of you people solder at 380. You know who you are. I disagree. Like, I solder as low as I possibly can, which, right, I don't know how the absolute value of what the absolute value of what this says is 280 degrees is, but yeah, it's pretty much 10 to 20 degrees above the temperature at which the solder melts. So it's quite cool. And what this allows me to do is keep the flux around for way longer. And this I do appreciate. However, I do get a lot of bridging between contacts. So that does happen because the solder is too cold and it doesn't solidifies pretty quickly and ends up bridging stuff. But yeah, so far that has not been enough of a reason to make me want to change to a different temperature profile. But yeah. Okay. All right. So let's see if this works. Okay, that's good enough. We'll be gluing this in a bit later. What do we do now? I think we glue it in now, actually. So I have some bits of solder that I would want off the desk. And at this point I would scratch the area we're going to be gluing onto. So, right, some scratches in all directions, as deep as possible. So something has happened to the hole. It has shrunken, or the rod got thicker where I squeezed it. And that's what happened. So let's do some maintenance on the hole. Okay. Much better. Okay. Let's mix the glue. Okay, so this is a very delicate step in that you really have to make sure your button is lined up and sitting properly. And all of this whilst not allowing your epoxy to dry out. And so it goes without saying, this is highly stressful. Right, so you need a cool mind and stone cold heart. What am I even saying? I'm losing my cool. Okay, so let's just set this somehow and make sure the button is pressed in right. I think I'll bring in a sacrificial toothpick and we'll just leave that in there, to be honest. Just to make very sure that our button is sitting right. Okay, so as this is curing, I've removed the toothpick. Should be pretty hard within 2 or 3 minutes. I think we can gently move the wires already. So yeah, I would actually like them. Oh man, I'm a bit worried. Okay, and I think by now I could pop them through here. And yeah, let's see how the copper takes tin, and let's make sure we don't leave any flux residues because this will affect copper contacts. This is a bit close. I could have probably went over here. Alright, but fuck it. Fuck it. Okay, so that went pretty well actually. Okay. Yeah, so this is for sure good enough for the girls I go out with. Right, so on the right side, quality is a bit lower, but it's not super bad. Really not gonna complain. And on the left side, I could even say I'm proud. And so I was thinking about cleaning this up with some alcohol, but the problem with that is alcohol would literally spread it across all the contacts. At least now it's in this sort of crystallized form, mostly around the joints. Alright, so I'm just gonna crack it off. Ever so slightly. And yeah, I mean, technically now this should work. I do actually have a Sony TV over here as well. And so I'll go and test that out momentarily. Actually, let's all go. I mean, if you stuck around for 20 minutes during this entire video, I mean, you're gonna wanna at least see if it if it does anything. So let's go. All right, so this is the big boy. And so let's see, technically I pressed this, it should turn on. Let's see. Boom. Easy. No problem. Let's see if it turns off. Absolutely flawless. Alright, so this has been a fix. It's a question, right? Whether this will last longer than one of those other buttons, but I would say so. And I mean, worst case, we put another one. There's a lot of room here. And we do have a lot of slack on the jumper wires, so should be fine. Alright, thanks everyone for watching. If you have any questions, leave them down in the comments.